The problem with any law enforcement, military versus civilians war gaming is that you cannot predict how much of said military slash law enforcement will either defect or refuse to comply. People use shitholes like Myanmar or even Venezuela way too much when talking about what a tyrannical government would look like, and think that the US is anywhere near the state where they can order some general tyrannical shit. At best, we will get a continuation of the current prying and having extremely limited to no success, as no one but the most psychopathic of ATF agents would actually want to take and go get guns from the millions of armed Americans in poor areas. There's this cop who came on here a few threads ago saying that if cops ever went to war with civilians, they would shit on them because even the average cop has super gunfighter training and practices a shitload. He tried to start some other retarded arguments too recently. He is kind of a meme here. Jesus. That guy would absolutely be the one true believer who would be tied down and thrown in a cell by his defecting department while he screams about high treason or something. There's the start of him going Sperg Fergusun about red dots and posting a broken sight mark from r/airsoft. There's an earlier thread where he spurgs about training. I'll find. Replace them if they're ramp sites. I don't even buy guns with these shits anymore because they're a fucking joke. You can't rack doing one-arm failure drills. And one time for me, it wasn't a drill, but I had no way of racking my gun to clear the failure. Glock's plastic shits will break if you rack them off a belt too, many times, or once if you rack them off the corner of a duty holster. Pick related is an example of shitty ramp sights. Always make sure the rear sight is flat and can catch a belt. Night sights are not a meme, as the no training above said. They're ideal. Obviously it's dark half the time, so you want something that you can see and still get a sight picture within low lighting. Basically have the benefits of a red dot with your sights lighting up, but without the stupid bulky glass and electronics on your gun. Night sights die in like 3 years though. That's their only flaw. Painting regular sights with glow paint can also be workable. Don't coat it on there. You don't want the bad guy to see you in the dark. Small dots facing you only. Night sights aren't a meme. Pay $100 for sights that die in 3 years and are made useless by red dots. They are a meme. At the ranges, you will be realistically defending yourself with a gun you probably won't even need sights, and most DGU cases don't happen in the pitch black nigger dark of night, but in well-lit areas where your night sights are useless. If you need quick low light target acquisition that badly, just get a dot. Night sights are unironically trash. The differences between civilian gun ownership and professional gun ownership are showing. I set aside some uniform allowance to buy new night sights when they get too dim. I depend on that fucking thing, so I maintain it accordingly. I don't want a big bulky piece of glass and electronics on my gun because those are additional failure points. Batteries can die suddenly or something can go wrong. The next thing can outright break or fail to turn on. Night sights are solid and reliable. I also leave my gun next to me when I sleep. I like seeing the sights and knowing where my gun is, even in the dark. Most use cases aren't in pitch black. Even low lighting indoors or at dusk, you can't see black things. I'm also gonna throw out there that you're seriously underestimating lasers. It's like a red dot that you don't have to be presented on target to see. You still see a dot on the threat where your bullets are gonna go, even if you have to fire from the hip one-handed. They're also much less bulk on the gun, since they're usually integrated into a light, which you should absolutely have, and kind of negates the whole need for night sights or red dots for low lighting anyway. But I have a laser on my carry gun, and will likely throw one on my duty gun at some point. Try one out, and you'll fucking love it. I always thought they were gay until I messed around with one.